Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a faux window box. Now I have a piece of window sheet in there, but I'm going to omit it on this one because it's really not worth it to get the glue on it and everything. But it has a little scene in there and it's layered, but you don't have to have the window on it. So you don't have to cut the whole box, just the DSP, which is awesome. All right, and inside I have some of the Harry Potter kisses, but you can put whatever you want in it. The box measures 3 by 3 by 1 1/4. Alrighty, and I'm using the Bag of Bones bundle along with the Stylish Shapes dies for the circle, and I use all that dies just for this label here, but you can cut your own if you don't have these dies. All right, because I know I'm using a bunch. All right, so what we need for this project is a piece of basic black that is 9 3/4 by 6 1/2. Now I already did the stamping on my skeleton because I used my Stamparatus, which is no longer available, but there are other stamping platforms, and I just want to show you the difference. See, this is one stamp with Versamark, and then I embossed it with white embossing powder and heated it up with the heat tool, and this is, I stamped it a couple of times over with the stamping platform. So you get a little bit less dots and there, more solid surface on when you stamp it a couple of times. So that's why I already did that. Okay, I used basic black cardstock with Versamark ink and then white Stampin' embossing powder and the heat tool. All right, so you need one of those. We need a piece, well, 2 pieces of Them Bones Designer Series paper that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. This one I cut with the 2 1/8 inch circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. Okay, and this one is just left alone, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then we need 4 pieces that are 1 by 2 3/4. Okay, all right, let's get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 9 3/4 inch side, score at 1 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/2. Turn it a quarter turn to the 6 1/2 inch side and score at 1/2, 1 3/4, 4 3/4, and 6. Okay, now just fold and burnish all of your score lines. Okay, this is symmetrical. It's the same on this side as this side and the same on the top as the bottom. So just make sure you have it the long way this way. And this is what we're going to be doing. Okay. All right, so we're going to start on the bottom left, and we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, get rid of this rectangle on the bottom, and wedge both sides of the square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, and the next score line, cut it to the second score line. Get rid of the rectangle on the bottom, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, now we're going to take off all 4 of these pieces. All right, so there's 3 rectangles and the square, and we're going to take them off, and I take the score line off with it. Okay. All right, so now turn it so that the flaps that we just cut are up here, and we'll start over here again. Go to the second score line, cut it to the second score line, and take away all of that, all 4 pieces. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the rectangle on the bottom and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, get rid of this rectangle on the bottom, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, and then we need a corner rounder, and we're going to round these two corners on both sides and this end. Okay. And this is what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring and cutting and also rounding those corners. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus, but you can use liquid glue or tear and tape, whatever you like. And I'm going to put one strip of glue up by the score line and one closer to the end on each one of these tabs. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to start on the end without the flap, and we're going to take the score line on the top of the tab and make it straight with this rectangle edge. Same thing on this side, the score line straight with this edge. And then do the same things to the edge, the other side of the same rectangle. Okay, and there's your box. All right, so now what we need to do is, excuse me, we need, of course, to do our stamping. Remember, I did it with Versamark ink on basic black cardstock, sprinkled it with white Stampin' Emboss powder, and then hit it with the heat tool, and then cut it out with the Bag of Bones dies. All right, and then we need this piece right here, just like that. It's going to go. So what we want is for our skeleton to be right in the middle and almost to the top. Okay, just like that. So I'm just going to put him there straight, right in the middle. And I want to take off with my scissors anything that goes below the line. Oops. As long as it doesn't come above this line, it's fine. Okay, so we cut his legs off. And now we're going to just put a little bit of glue on the very bottom of his legs. Okay. Then we're going to make sure that your DSP is right side up. I'm going to use my mat. All right, so I'm going to put him down. Make sure that my image is going up and down straight. And then just make sure that my guy is right in the middle. Just like that. Okay, then you want to just let it dry a minute. Okay, and make sure he's not on that glue. And then we're going to put a little bit of glue on. Don't have to cover every single bit, but just enough. And then we're going to take this piece of DSP that's the same size, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Match up the sides and the bottom, and then put down your skeleton. All right, and also we want to put some glue on the rest of our DSP. I should have told you to do that before, but that's easy enough to fix. Okay. And that is the faux window. Then you don't have to cut the hole in the top of the box. Okay. Now, we're just going to glue this right onto the top of the box. You can put, if you want to, you can put it on with dimensionals, but I'm going to just put it on with liquid glue. this down on the top front flap. Okay, now what we just have to put on the 4 pieces that are 1 by 2 3/4 on all the sides, not the flap here under that part. Okay, now just take a small circle punch. This one's 7/8, anything around 1 inch, and just take a semicircle out of there so that it's easy to open. Okay, now we need our little label. This label I cut again from the All That dies, but you can just do this by hand if you want to. I have the little flagged end on the left hand side, and we're going to stamp the little sentiment bonjour and put it kind of close to the flag. There we go. All right, and then we're going to glue that onto the bottom right, right about right here. And then we're going to tie a small bow with black and white gingham ribbon. Okay, I'm just going to clip it off. Then just decide which side you like that side. All right, so then I'm just going to I'm going to roll up 2 glue dots and put them on either side, and then put some liquid glue in the middle. And then we're going to put the bow right there. Trim it just a little bit. Okay. And then for the final touch, I'm going to use some blooming pearls. The glow-in-the-dark bats and ghosts are sold out, and they're not coming back, unfortunately. So I'm not going to use them. I have some left, but I'm not going to use them. All right, and I'm going to use these ones down here. And I'm going to put one there, and then I'll go to the small ones. I'll put one there and one there. And that's it. I love it. I think it's great. I do like it better without the window sheet in there. It just adds another step that's kind of a pain. Alrighty, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.